Welcome back. All right, so I'm going to do something a little different today for all you fine people on the internet who watch the Entertainment Guy channel. Thank you guys so much for your support. I'm going to talk about what I've been watching lately, also what I've been listening to, and all that fun stuff. And obviously, I talked to you guys about a whole astronomy thing last week. Where I can, I'm watching as many astronomy shows as I can. It does get tough though. Like, I had to subscribe to Paramount Plus to get what I think now gives me access to all the How the Universe Works episodes. But yeah, it seems like astronomy's not really this big cash cow for the industry, which is too bad because if they can waste $200 million on movies that nobody watches, they could throw a little bit of money into something astronomy like, and I think they'd be fine. Anyways, so what I've been watching lately, The Circle season 6. Now, The Circle is a show that the first season was kind of weird, and I think it's really found its footing, but it's still got this weird aspect. So basically, The Circle is just a popularity contest. That's really all it is everybody interacts in these chats, which seem to be very, very timed. It definitely seems like you're only allowed to have one private chat, maybe two, and that the circle decides when the chat is done. Sometimes it feels like they're given way more time to argue, but if the circle feels like it's more dramatic to cut the conversation off mid argument, they do that. And so it's this weird show where you don't see the people you're talking to. You have to go by what you see on the screen and figure out, is that person a catfish? It's weird too because they try to get out catfish as if they're doing something really bad and deceptive, but it doesn't really matter because they're still there. And in most cases, when somebody comes in as a catfish, I feel like it hurts their game. If they'd come in as themselves, they'd be better off. But it has, and I cannot do this conversation justice. Watching a very fit, very straight male flirting, and now he's married, so he's not seriously flirting. He's got a picture of his wife, and he's like, "Honey, I'm doing what I have to try to win this money." Flirting with a female character. On the other side, it's not actually a female. It is a gay man that he's having this conversation with, and it is the funniest conversation I think I've ever seen in history. I think it's episode 8 or episode 9. It is the funniest conversation I have ever seen. It is just because they're flirting with each other, and the gay man's like, "Hey, he's a good-looking guy. I mean, he's gonna be really disappointed though if he sees this, because he's also heavier, and it is the funniest thing. I swear I was in tears. We had to pause the show because Yvonne and I were both laughing so hard we couldn't see the TV through our tears. It was that funny. So I cannot recommend just that part. Even if you don't necessarily like the show, just watching them having this really flirty conversation. Well, neither is being honest. One of them's married, has no intention of stepping out on his wife, and the other one is actually a kind of a big gay guy, and playing a very pretty blonde girl in the circle. It's just really, really quite funny. And I feel like the show, again, I feel like it's found its footing over the last couple of seasons. It's entertaining. The Great British Baking Show. I love the Great British Baking Show. It's fantastic. The one thing that sticks in my mind, though, because we're seeing a lot of lawsuits from people in reality TV. Basically, reality TV is cheap. You don't have to pay people that are on your reality shows anywhere near what you'd have to pay an actor, actresses, the crew, special effects, every stunt people, all the union stuff. Great British Baking Show, you're fighting it out for basically it's a cake stand that they win at the end of it. There's no money that's involved. And so when I'm watching the Great British Baking Show and these people are just baking their hearts out, and I'm thinking, man, this show makes a lot of money off of these people who don't make any money off being on the show because they're just so overjoyed to be on it. And it's a great show. This season, they actually replaced one of the hosts. I think it was the right move. I think it was a really good move. Now, when I see this season, it's season 14. I think for people in Britain, I think it's season 15 that you guys are watching. So don't spoil it for me or anything. But yeah, my favorite of all of the British bakers that they've had on there is still Lottie. Lottie was the funniest, great self-deprecating humor, and just very relatable. This season's cast has been pretty good that way too, though. Maddie is the one that he makes me laugh pretty hard. When he bakes something and it doesn't work out, he flat out says it. It's just he laughs it off. He doesn't take it so seriously. He doesn't get really, really upset because what's the point? Don't have to be upset. And he bounced back really well the next week. And I think that's why, because he didn't take it that seriously. I have been watching Fallout. At least I've got 3/4 of the way through the first episode. Now I have to be careful here because I'm going to watch Fallout while I'm doing the treadmill, which I did today. All right, so I played 4 hours of street hockey on Sunday. I was extremely sore yesterday. I'm still sore today. But I know my body. I have to get back at it. I can't baby myself. I can't go, oh, I've got to take myself off my feet for a few days. And after the treadmill today, while my hip hurts a bit, I feel better. So I made the right call doing the treadmill today. But that's when I usually watch Fallout. The tricky part is that Adelaide is 11 years of age, and some of the stuff that's in Fallout a little bit intense for her. So I can't watch it while I'm on the treadmill knowing she may come in and out of the room. She does often come into the room to see what I'm watching. And so I have to make sure I'm watching something that's benign. Like today I was watching, and it's not on the board, but Canada's Ultimate Challenge. Don't refer to it as the challenge. It's a ripoff of the challenge. It is absolutely, it's a ripoff of the challenge. And I mean, watching Canadians fighting with each other and one group that clearly didn't know how to row a boat, I thought, man, for people who talk about how smart Canadians are or how we all get along with each other, they should watch this show and they'll realize we're the same as everybody else. So yeah, Fallout, I am absolutely blown away. Here's the thing: when you're making a show based on a video game, it should stay true to the video game without feeling like a video game. And there's a balance there that I think shows and movies have had a really hard time with. The Resident Evil movies are a good example. First off, those movies are mostly crap. Absolutely, yes, they are. Various reasons why they're mostly crap, but they are. But there's parts of the movies, the Resident Evil movies, where you're like, this is that video game level. So they've put this in here because that's the video game level, and it kind of takes you out of the movie. And so with Fallout, I don't get that feeling. Now I'm not through the first episode yet because that's 75 minutes, but I don't feel like I'm watching a video game based TV show. Even though the outfits that they wear, the blue outfits, are a little bit cartoony X-Men kind of feeling. But still, I really enjoy it. What an amazing opening. Not going to ruin it for anybody, but that first scene, really heartbreaking. Absolutely, when they show like the apocalypse that starts the series, just heartbreaking. That first bomb, and you're like, and then a bunch of others, and you're like, oh boy, this is bad. So, really, really have enjoyed it. All the reviews I've seen for it have been good, and I've avoided spoilers. So, I'm doing a good job. Plus, I played the game, so I know some of what's coming up. I got far enough in to know that there were enough beasts around the corner that I was going to die a lot. Hearing people that were much better at video games than I am talking about, I couldn't get past that one Deathclaw. Oh, I can't get past that one at all. And I'm like, I don't have a hope. I suck at video games. I used to play Fallout. I used to do live streams of me playing Fallout on my original channel. And my friend at work would watch me play Fallout just to laugh at me. He would watch the live streams of me just to laugh at me because I was going the wrong way, or I'd turn a corner and something scary would happen. I'd be like, oh God, and I was dead. And he was like, haha, you suck at that. And I'm like, yeah, I know I suck at it. That's great. Glad you're watching. Thanks for your help. But yeah, so Fallout, really anxious to watch that. Season 2 of Perfect Match is coming out on June the 7th. Also, Farmin' for Love is coming out on May 29th. Canadian Farmin' for Love. I'm looking forward to it. I gotta be honest, it's so goofy, it's so weird. And then that means that we're getting into that time of season 2 where the Canadian Bachelor in Paradise starts up, where they go to Northern Ontario, and there's bugs everywhere, and they're all wrapped up in jackets at night, and they're all next to the fire. It's not much. It's not the same kind of paradise that the American show has. I did watch the American version this year, and that's bonkers. The Canadian one feels more just relaxed. Canadian versions of the U.S. reality shows just feel more chill, more laid back, just more chill. So, but yeah, Perfect Match was ridiculous the first season. I'll watch this too. And basically, they just take people from various reality shows on Netflix and scramble them up, and then you've got to pair up with somebody. And sometimes they're paired up with somebody they're romantic with, and sometimes they're paired up with people that they're not. It doesn't create lasting couples, but it creates some drama, and it's kind of funny to see these people from other shows we've watched, like Too Hot to Handle, like The Circle, and these kinds of shows, and they all come together, and it just generally doesn't work. But yeah, so that's what I've been watching, gonna watch. So the only things that really occurred to me, I do enjoy the summertime because I get caught up on things. Like I want to watch the new Planet of the Apes movie. I want to watch the Imaginary Friends movie, even though the reviews have been mixed on that. I don't care. I want to go and watch that one in the theater. Um, I'm also kind of excited about the new Wolverine Deadpool movie for when that's going to come out, and there's various other movies I want to see this summer too. Because once the hockey season winds down, I wanna just depressurize. That's why I've watched the Saving Sackett because I'm like, okay, I have time away from hockey. I watched hockey when the whole Sackett thing went down with the Rangers and the offer sheet. I'm wondering if this is going to segue into a saving Fedorov because Fedorov got a big offer sheet and didn't take it either. Well, I mean Detroit kept him, but anyways, that's a whole other conversation to have. But I generally, when I'm done with hockey videos at the end of the day, don't feel like watching hockey. I don't watch the highlights. I don't listen to the hockey channel on the radio very often. Um, yeah, it's really I try to avoid that. Even on YouTube, I generally don't watch. It doesn't even recommend hockey videos for me because I do not click on them. So music, people know I'm a metalhead. They know I like metal. Slipknot, Korn, Rammstein. You know, basically, if it's industrial and it was in the early 2000s, guilty. I will listen to it. But I like pop music too. Very often, it's the female vocalists I'm into, and Billie Eilish's new album I think is going to be a banger. Lunch, the new video. It's definitely an eye-catching video the way they shot it. I think it's great. She's kind of changed up her look in that video. I don't know if it's just for that video, probably just for that video, but Billie finds ways to reinvent herself, and I think she's one of the smarter artists right now. There's the whole thing too between her and Taylor Swift, but I don't know how real any of that is. She was talking about how all of these remix albums come out and it's wasteful to the environment because of all these vinyl LPs and everything. Which I mean, yeah, but we don't have records like we used to. It's nowhere near the kind of sales you would have been looking at back in say the 70s or the 80s. But then Taylor released three different remix versions of her most recent album the day before Billie's new album came out. So there's some speculation she was trying to bury Billie's new album. I just can't see Taylor Swift caring. She's a billionaire. I don't think she cares. I don't think she was like, hey, I got to bury Billie's new album when it comes out because I'm petty. I don't see that. I don't think that's a thing. Dua Lipa, fantastic singer. Got her new album. I really like the new album. It's very 80s. Her music's very 80s. It's very easy to listen to. I also got Miley Cyrus's album, the one that has flowers on it. That's a good album as well. So I like to listen to music that's. It depends. See, my mood is sometimes it's metal and sometimes it's not. Like on our way to the meetup, I was listening to. First, I listened to Dua and then Miley, and then on the way back, I was listening to a live album from Ministry. So that's a varied kind of listening experience right there. But yeah, so to me, it's either metal or it's pop music. I used to listen to like classical, but it was like like movie soundtracks, like the Star Wars soundtracks, that kind of thing. I had the ET soundtrack when I was a kid too. I didn't like it as much as Star Wars, but it was something fun to listen to while I was like writing books and stuff. So, it just not country. Country's the one that I'm like, yeah. Like even some of the if you can play spoons to it, kind of Newfoundland music, yeah, I can handle that. That's fine too. Pub music, I guess you could call it. Yeah, that's fine. And while I don't like country, Johnny Cash is not country. Johnny Cash has his own. He's Johnny Cash. So, yeah. I don't know how anybody could not like Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash is absolutely fantastic. And there are certain country artists that I think are okay, but generally not the current stuff. And then with YouTube videos. So Yvonne and I watch various YouTube videos. There's two channels, though, that I've been watching a lot of lately. And that's Kit Boga, which is, of course, calling scam call centers. And he pretends he's an old woman or an old man and has them run the scam and basically makes it so he's killing their time so they're not scamming anybody. Make sure that he shows enough money in his fake bank account so that they really want that 70 or 80,000, sometimes like $3 million in the account. That's one of my favorites is when he pretends that it's a $3 million corporate account and his account only has $30 or $3 in it. And they keep telling him to go back to the other account. No, 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 go back to the other account. Yeah, but that's not my account. Yeah, but log into that one instead. That's the corporate account. Yeah, we need to get into that one. Sure you do. Right. Yeah, uh-huh. But he then, why I like him too is that he will get the bank account information. So the bank accounts that they want to transfer him to transfer the money to, these are compromised accounts they got from other people they've scammed. So he reports those accounts and gets them shut down. So as they're talking to him, there's times where as they're talking to him, he's shutting down account after account after account because he's got them live. He can just text them, here's the account, it's this bank account number, done, gone, and they just text him back, we got it, got it, got it. So I think it's great. I think it's absolutely great. I think he does a good service, and also his videos being entertaining means you can show it to grandma who might get scammed, and by her seeing that video she goes, that's the scam, that's okay, I won't fall for that, right? Because those are the people they're going after, are the elderly that have some money. So I honestly, I'd recommend it. If my grandmother was still around, I would be watching Kit Boga videos with her because my grandmother's a really sweet lady, and I could see her being talked into that kind of thing. I could have seen it. And Alex Myers, and again, I'm sure people are watching this going, that channel's been around for a long time. That's the wonderful, wonderful part about discovering a popular YouTube channel that has content I really like, is that there's years of material, like Pitch Meeting. When I started watching Pitch Meeting, I'm like, there's so many. This is great. So it took me forever to watch them all. I did. I've watched all the Pitch Meetings to the point where I've started going back and watching some of them again because I've kind of forgotten what he says. But yeah, Alex Myers, my sense of humor, the self-deprecation, the fact that he couldn't get a girl to look at him sideways in high school, and just some of the quotes that he has, or some of the things that'll happen in a movie, and then the screen goes black and he goes, "What? What did they just say? Pardon me?" And it's perfect because he always does that in moments where I would have had a very similar reaction. So one thing that I find important with YouTubers is that they're, I don't know, they seem like guys that I'd want to talk to or hang out with, or young ladies and older ladies and whoever runs the channel, people that I would actually see myself sitting and talking with. So if you see me in the comment section on a video on another channel, then odds are the person who's presenting that video, somebody that I'd be willing to hang out with. Although there was a Watch Mojo, I think it was a Watch Mojo video I commented on the other day where I couldn't get through it because they lost me right away. And I can't remember what it was I said. It was something they got wrong about. It was about either the movie or the character that was just, it was just wrong. And I was like, I can't. But I didn't do it in a way where I sounded really whiny. I didn't do it in a way where I was telling you guys are stupid, your channel's dumb. I hope you guys are just, I hope this whole thing falls apart. I made a comment that, I'm trying to remember what it was. Yeah, I can't remember what it was. I think it was a character that they were talking about, and I was like, what? No, that's not how that happened in that show or that movie. But yeah, Alex Myers, I haven't had that experience with. He's great. I mean, and what I like with Myers too is he has an ad that's like about a minute long, but he puts it right at the start of the video. You can get through that ad because, again, one thing that YouTubers have going for them now is that they get contacted by advertisers to put the paid placement in there. You guys have all seen it, right? Raid Shadow Legends was the fad not too long ago. And so you get the YouTuber to say it during a video. That way, if people are skipping the ads or they have ad blocker, guess what? They're still going to hear the advertisement. They're still going to get the graphics. And some of these companies, too, you have to be word for word exactly the script they give you, or you get nothing. So they'll tell you, oh, yeah, no, you can get like $1,500 if you put this into your video, and if you say this and you do this. And then you do it, and they're like, well, you didn't exactly say it the way we gave you, so that was a nice try, but we're not paying you for that video. And meanwhile, they've got an advertisement right in the middle of your video, and now it's free. So there are a lot of reasons why I don't do sponsorship deals. There's lots of reasons why I don't even bother with that. I joined every website where they have all the sponsors meet the YouTubers, and every time it was either that's not something that I could advertise because I don't do makeup tutorials. It might be funny as hell if I did one, but come on now, it'd be weird, wouldn't it? and it just didn't work. Where I was like, that's not going to work. I found one advertiser once. It was a hockey app for your phone. It was a hockey game on an app for your phone, but I realized pretty quickly it was pay to play. So you get through the first game and you win it, and then the second game, I got to the third period, and all of a sudden I couldn't score. And it was, if you want to do this, you have to get more coins. And I was like, oh, nah. And I just emailed them and said, I can't promote this on my channel. This would work, but because I feel like it's pay to play, I can't do it. And they emailed me back and they're like, well, we'll talk to our development team and we're sorry you feel that way. And, if there's any other way you think we can improve the game, let us know. I never heard from them again. Nothing. Never heard from them again. I don't know if any other hockey YouTubers decided to promote the game, but I couldn't do it. I downloaded it. I was like, this is fun. And then I went, okay, so you have to pay to win the second game. And I'm out. I'm not doing it. I don't play pay to play games. I just don't. I have various games I play on my phone. Sometimes I have to sit through ads here and there. But if I have to shell out money to get past a level, that's an uninstallable offense. It's just gone. And again, I don't leave a really nasty review. I just uninstall the game, and then anybody asks me what I play on my phone, I will make a point of saying, well, don't play that game, because that game sucks. It wants you to pay to get to the next level. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing, that's what I've been watching, and that's what's been going on. I know, it's kind of boring and all that, but I do like to tell people, because I know it's surprising to some, but yeah, with all the hockey I consume all year, I find it's really important for my brain to reset, not to think about hockey 24/7. Give my brain a bit of a rest, and then I feel like when I go back to hockey discussions and hockey stuff, I have brand new ideas. And so, yeah, it works. Even during the playoffs, I've been actually dropping the amount of videos I normally do at this time of year. You may not even notice the difference. I definitely notice the difference. Yvonne notices I've been doing less videos than I normally do, because the videos are doing so well. The channel is doing so well that I'm like, you know what? There's no point in me doing a career video today because those videos have been big hits. I'm just going to let them breathe. One thing I learned early as a YouTuber is that you do need to make sure your most recent video is a popular one. Because if you put out a really popular video and then a couple hours later you put out one that isn't going to get as many views, it's going to bury the other one. And you're going to have a suppression of how many views you normally have. A good example would be I did a power rankings this year right before I had to do the preview for the following morning. I think it was when they were in Europe. And so the power rankings got about 10,000 less views that week than normal, because I had put out another video within a couple hours out of just, I had to do it. It's part of the reason why I'm changing up how I do my previews next year, is because I want to make sure that no videos are getting in the way of the power rankings. No videos are getting in the way of the really popular videos. And so make the preview videos a little more beefy while making them less of a daily thing and more of an every other day or every third day kind of thing. So there you go. A little bit of a behind the scenes for all you fine people too, for the main channel stuff too. But thank you guys so much for all your support. It does mean a lot. I've been thinking about doing astronomy videos, because I'm fascinated with just that whole topic and everything. And I've always enjoyed explaining astronomy. I know when, first time around when I was raising kids, I was so excited to talk to them about astronomy and teach them astronomy. I don't know if they've retained any of that information. My guess is no, but it's fun to share it. It's fun to do that kind of thing, and it's something that I think we can all appreciate, because we're all in the universe. We're all in it. We're all in it together, and the universe is this vast, really bizarre place. And the farther out you zoom on the universe, the bigger picture you take a look at with it, the more you're like, this could actually be a simulation. This actually, this could. We would have no idea. We'd have no idea. We'll never know. But it's just one of those things that I realize. I'm like, there's a lot of things in this universe that, yeah, it's interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But anyways, there you go. I'm done yammering for now. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I know there's a lot of shows and movies and stuff people want us to watch. Band recommendations are always welcome. Very often, band recommendations get thrown at the comments, and I'll mention it to Yvonne, and she goes, I listen to them all the time. And she'll look at me like, don't you listen to what I'm listening to? And then I have to, feign an injury or something. Just, oh, my leg. She asks a question I don't want to have the answer to, and suddenly, oh, my shoulder. It's a Basil faulty thing. It didn't work for him. It doesn't work for me either, but I still try it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for all your support as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so. And if this is your first entertainment guy video and you're like, this is weird because it's the hockey guy and it's the hockey set. Well, yeah, but still, subscribe and stick around. It's probably not going to be the last surprise you have on this channel. Thanks for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.